Folks, I'm going on the air in the wake of tragedy in Las Vegas. One person killed, 37 others injured, and I'm going to address that at the very top of my show. We're about to go on the air, so hang on for a moment. And when I do, it's important stuff that people need to hear. So listen. On the air for our troops. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you wouldn't react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Paris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Paris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Paris Survival. All right, Cody, can we stop the music, please? I know I didn't ask in advance. I apologize. But yeah, stop the music. Folks, this is Howard Riell, Riell Truth Radio. You know my name by now. You know my voice. And I'm on the air today talking about tragedy. If you're following the news, you know that some woman drove up onto the sidewalk, not once but twice, on the Las Vegas Strip, killed one person, injured 37 others. I've got a report right in front of me I'm going to be reading to you that says that as she did it, she screamed, "Allahu Akbar." So let's get real. I've never come on the show and claimed to have the power of prophecy, and the power of prophecy is not necessary. All it takes is common sense. When I tell people that Donald Trump's suggestion that we stop Muslims from coming to America is only the first half of what the Western world needs to do, they said to me, "What are you kidding? That'll never happen. You can't ban Islam. Most Muslims are peaceful people." And sure enough, this woman who is alleged to have driven up on the sidewalk, screaming "Allahu Akbar," driving into a crowd of people, just like happens seemingly every week now in Israel. She was a law-abiding Muslim. I assume she's Muslim. Law-abiding, peaceful, moderate Muslim, right up until the very second she began murdering people. Trying to murder people. She killed one person. Peaceful, law-abiding woman. What are you going to do? Throw her out of America? Yeah. Because if you don't, this will happen again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will grow up in an America where this is so commonplace, they don't even think about it when they hear about it. It's survival time. Here's the piece. It's from a website called NowTheEndBegins.com. I'll give you the whole schmear right here. Quote, "Female killer in Las Vegas shouted Allahu Akbar as she ran over 40 innocent people last night." Now here's the story. This was an act of Islamic terrorism perpetrated by an Islamic woman driving a car with a 3-year-old child inside, who intentionally rode onto the sidewalk to strike innocent people. Police, however, have been instructed by their superiors to not use the word terrorism in relation to this incident because Las Vegas does not want tourists to be frightened away from the city. According to one eyewitness, quote, "As we were walking across the street, this car comes flying through the red light. She ran up on the sidewalk and smashed into a group of people walking across the street and into the group of people at the corner. She did not slow down and appeared to accelerate as she hit the sidewalk," unquote. According to that witness, there's a huge row of plants and bushes separating the sidewalk from the strip, but the woman driver ran through both at a speed she guessed to be 40 to 45 miles an hour. Quote, "People were flying off the front of her car and people were smashing into other people as she plowed through the crowd," unquote. The witness went on to say, quote, "As this unfolded, the only thing I recall as this happened is the insane sound of her car accelerating, and the voice from the car was screaming, 'Allah Akbar.' I've heard the sound enough times on the news I was waiting for a bomb to blow up or guns to start firing," unquote. According to police, 37 people were hit, 1 person killed. 6 of the victims were listed in critical condition, but they've since been upgraded to stable. This was an act of Islamic terrorism perpetrated by an Islamic woman driving a car with a 3-year-old inside who intentionally rode onto the sidewalk to strike innocent people. Unquote. Now, my friends, I'm only reading what I read. I have no proof. I haven't investigated. I don't know if the woman's guilty. Don't know if she's a Muslim. I don't know anything except what I've read. What's to stop this from happening again in an hour? And again tonight? Nothing. There's nothing to stop Islamic terror. My guess is she's not on an FBI watch list. My guess is she has not traveled to Syria to train with ISIS. My guess is she's not on a no-fly list. She's probably just an anonymous Muslim woman, I guess, who decided today was the day to kill people. And the fact she had a 3-year-old child with her, well, that didn't mean anything. Any more than that couple in San Bernardino having a 6-month-old child meant anything to them when they decided it was time to murder. So we need to grow up real fast in America. We need to be grown-ups and ask ourselves some adult questions. Can we afford to have millions of Muslims, any one of whom might decide, hey, you know what? Today is the day I'm going to start killing people. Can we afford to have them living among us? Can we afford to have Muslim police officers, Muslim soldiers like they had at Fort Hood? Can we have them in positions of authority in the government? If what I'm reading is true, it doesn't sound to me like we can afford to have them driving cars. So to all those people who said to me, Riell, you're out of your mind. We don't need to get rid of the Muslims. San Bernardino, Las Vegas, many other instances here in America that says we do. It's not hate speech. It's not anti-religious speech. Not racism. None of those things. It's the simple recognition that we have a group of people whose holy book tells them to kill us. And they are. They are. Nothing amazing about it. You don't need to be a prophet or a seer. Common sense will do. Our problem is common sense is in such woefully short supply in America in 2015 that we don't even know enough to come out of the rain. It's raining Islamic hatred. And we've got a presidential candidate by the name of Clinton saying that Muslims have nothing whatsoever to do with Muslim terrorism. That's a problem to be solved between Hillary voters and their psychiatrists. But I'm telling you, we got to do something. And when Donald Trump offers up a half measure, let's just keep more Muslims from coming in, people howl. Donald Trump is totally correct in what he wants. In fact, he doesn't go far enough. If you think he does go far enough, tell that to the people on the sidewalk on the Las Vegas Strip last night, early this morning. Tell that to the people who were rolled over by a large vehicle when they were walking down the street by some woman screaming, Allah Akbar. Tell it to them. All right, it's Monday. Riell Truth. It's a hell of a way to start a week, but so be it. I'll be right back.
Of debt and the devaluing of your money. They openly say that they need 2% became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell. It's Monday. You know, there are lots of forms of terrorism. There's terrorism with guns and with bombs and with swords, and there's also the kind of terrorism they practice up on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. This omnibus bill, which I'm going to be talking about today, don't worry about it, is more destructive for America than a bomb going off. Here's Sean Hannity, Fox News, talking to Donald Trump. Donald Trump says the budget process is a joke, and that's just about the nicest word you can use to describe it. Here we go. Stop. So now Donald Trump is channeling Howard Riell. People running this country don't have a clue. Maybe they do have a clue, and that's worse. What he means is maybe they're doing it intentionally. Maybe their intention is to bring in Muslims, bring in terrorists, and bring down America. What have I been saying for years on this show? Whenever someone says, I don't get Obama, what is he, crazy? Is he stupid? He's neither crazy nor stupid. He's evil. He hates America. And he's doing everything in his power to destroy America, to weaken and cripple America. He's not stupid. And Donald Trump knows that. The worst thing, the most chilling thing you can hear is what Trump just said, which I've been saying, is that the federal government knows exactly what they're doing. weakening our defense, keeping our borders open, bringing Muslims here and among them terrorists. Obama knows what he's doing. He's a Muslim, or at the very least, he is a lover of Muslims, an enabler and a supporter of Muslims and Muslim terror, and he's doing his best to cripple America from the inside. Trump just alluded to it. All it takes is common sense, my friends. No mysticism here. Common sense, with your eyes open, your brain engaged. This may be the most horrifying realization in the history of America, that the most powerful man in America is trying to destroy America. Now, believe me, I have no love for Jimmy Carter for a minute, and he was a lousy president, but I don't believe Jimmy Carter wanted to cripple America. He was an inept fool, of course, and the sooner he's off the planet Earth, the happier I'll be. He was inept, and he was stupid, and he still is stupid, and he's an anti-Semite. But he wasn't a political terrorist. What Donald Trump just alluded to is that we have a terrorist in the White House. Not a terrorist with bombs, not a terrorist driving a car, but a terrorist nonetheless, who does more damage with his pen in the Oval Office than any 1,000 Muslim terrorists do with bombs, guns, or swords. Let's keep listening. Well, folks, I don't understand either, and I don't need to understand. All I need to know is what America needs, and what conservatives expect is opposition to the harebrained ideas coming out of the Democratic administration, and there's just about no opposition. Contrast that with Donald Trump, who, if he becomes president, will metaphorically put his leg up the ass of Republicans who give in to the Democrats. Phyllis Schlafly, today in a piece, and I'm going to be talking about that too, says Trump is the last hope for America. And it sounds like a grandiose apocalyptic statement, but I think she's right. If we don't get it right in this election, if we don't get the right candidate, and if, God forbid, Hillary Clinton becomes president, America will crumble in very real and horrible ways that we have not seen yet. We've got to draw the line in the sand now, on our watch, because we're being betrayed by both the Republicans and the Democrats, and so it takes someone from outside the process to come in and put a halt to it. Here you go. Item from 100%fedup.com. Paul Ryan's omnibus spending bill gives Obama funding for his Syrian refugee scheme. Planned Parenthood, Obamacare, Amnesty, NSA domestic spying, sanctuary cities for illegals, eliminates the budget sequester, and much more. The bill is another 2,000-page whale that has become so common in the Obama era, so there hasn't even been enough time yet to parse the bill and find out what's in it. Doesn't that sound like a former Speaker of the House? I'm not talking about John Boehner. Paul Ryan has turned out to be even worse than John Boehner. The bill is downright Pelosian in its terribleness. This is a slap in the face to the American people. We hope that once you recover from shock after reading this list, you'll pick up the phone and call DC to voice your anger. Please make the effort to jam the phone lines with angry patriots who are 100% fed up with big government. The Capitol switchboard is at 202-224-3121. The Capitol switchboard, 202-224-3121. Just call that number and ask for any of the Congress people that you want. You'll get their office. You'll get some flunky. Proceed to yell at them. Don't be afraid to yell. You pay these people salaries. You're allowed to yell at them. Bailouts for failing health insurance companies under Obama are one of the things that are funded in this bill. Some others massively expands the foreign worker program, quadrupling the issuance of low-wage visas. That means our jobs go away. Funds Obamacare, unconstitutional amnesty program, fund Planned Parenthood, funds the Paris climate deal, funds sanctuary cities, and on and on and on and on. It is legislative terrorism. We'll be back.
We know how the government is out of control. Who are the people in it? How can we, the people, bring it back to the people's servants, not the people's masters? Liberty Park and the Freedom Rider says officials in the government must be made accountable for their actions. AccountabilityRevolution.com is the place to go to learn how you can actually make that happen. Become their judges, not their slaves. AccountabilityRevolution.com. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom-tailored capabilities as modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to Riell Truth. I am Howard Riell, and Sweden is burning. Now, I got to confide, I'll tell you straight from the heart. I don't care if Sweden's burning. Sweden has been anti-Semitic so long, the whole place could go up in flames, and I don't care. But what's happening in Sweden is happening elsewhere, and it's threatening to come here. In fact, it's here already, and that's why I'm talking about Sweden, to hold it up as an example to my fellow Americans and to people all throughout the Western world, and by the way, Israel, which is part of the Western world, that where you have large numbers of Muslims, you have terror, horror, and destruction. Here's a report from Russia Today. You'll find it on my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. Go there, watch it, share it. Let's listen. Stop. Mostly immigrants. Multiple choice quiz. These people immigrated from A, Connecticut, B, France, C, Finland, D, Islamic countries. This is PC. They won't say mostly Muslims. They'll say mostly immigrants. Because they figure you're a schmuck and you won't know. Well, I'm no schmuck. I do know. And because I know, you also know. I'm sure you knew anyway. If you're watching my show, you're probably a pretty sharp cookie. Here we go.
In 4 nights of unrest and violence.
Stop. They're trying to stop young people. Well, which young people? Young medical students? Young poets? Young musicians? Or young Muslims? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. That's all I ask.
Fire to cars and other things.
My friends, get the message here. Muslims are peaceful people. They wouldn't hurt a fly. Unless there's a video, like liberals would have you believe spurred the Benghazi attacks. Here, there's an old man in an apartment, and that's why they're out in the street burning and destroying. They're lying to you again. Muslims have been burning and destroying as long as there have been Muslims, 14 centuries. Arabs have been burning and destroying for thousands of years. But even in Sweden, the reason Sweden is burning is that they're deaf, dumb, and blind. It's only immigrants, it's only youth, and it's only in response to this one incident. They won't tell you it's a culture of barbarism. It's a culture of savagery and ignorance. That's why Sweden is burning. They haven't found an answer yet because they won't even admit the question.
In Stockholm, they're talking to community leaders.
Of course, unemployment, that's why they're burning cars. Let me ask you a question. And, I'm from Brooklyn, so it's going to be a stupid question, admittedly. Let's say you have Muslims in Sweden, peaceful people, lovely people. They grow flower gardens, they read poetry, they play the harp. They're lovely, lovely human beings. But because of unemployment, they may start burning and killing. Or because an old man was arrested, they may start smashing car windows and destroying stores. Question: are these the kind of people you want in your country? Peaceful though they may be. But when the unemployment numbers aren't to their liking, they destroy your society. They begin killing and burning. You want these people? My friends, a little sanity, a little common sense, please. We're not getting it from Russia today, and they're not getting it in Sweden.
In these particular areas, I'm in the
My friends, it makes me hark back to my own youth when I was under 25. When there were periods of time I didn't have a job, what would I do during the day? Either I would go to the beach, or I would get together with friends, or I would burn cars. Right? I'm sure when you were a teenager and you weren't working, you went out and smashed car windows and raped girls, right? I mean, what else are you going to do when you're unemployed?
Indeed, that's one of the reasons why earlier on Wednesday, when it seemed like things were under control in certain areas.
Now, they're immigrants. Where are they from? Well, nobody knows. What group do they belong to? Nobody knows. All we know is that they're immigrants. Maybe they're immigrant doctors or scientists or scholars. No, they're immigrant Muslims. And if this horse's ass on RT won't tell you that, I will tell you that. They're immigrant Muslims. And by the way, the fact that they're immigrants is neither here nor there. What if they lived in Sweden for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? You think that would stop them from creating carnage? It wouldn't. So the immigrant part we can throw out. They're Muslims destroying Sweden. Now, I could live with that. But because they're getting away with it there and around Europe, they are emboldened and they're gaining momentum and they're gaining strength and they're coming here. That's why I'm reporting on Sweden burning. As far as I'm concerned, Sweden could disappear and my life would not change. But it's happening there, and it's increasingly happening here. Now, I said I put this video on my Facebook page. Go to it, Riell Truth Radio, watch the video, and share it. It's important that people see this. Especially the day after some kook ran up on a sidewalk in Las Vegas, 2 sidewalks, ran over 37 people, according to one report, screaming, "Allah Akbar." When are we going to get this? When is it going to sink in? When are we going to be grown-ups, and when are we going to face this problem head on? Whether people like it or not. We'll take a break. I'll let my throat recover a little bit. More Riell Truth ahead. Go nowhere. All right, guys, I need a drink. Don't worry, it's only water. Better. All right, after you're through watching this video, share it. Spread it around. Let a lot of people see it. Because that's what we need. And that's one of the things that will safeguard us and our children and America in general. I'll see you tomorrow. Hasta luego.